Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So today we're going to talk about the end of the Microsoft Advisor Program. So for those who don't know, the deadline is in less than 30 days, so on June 30th. And we're going to take a look at how you can transfer your clients seamlessly. So joining me today, Alex Aflam, who's an account manager here at SherWeb in the partner program. Hello, Alex. Thank you for joining.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So Alex is one of the top sales account manager who help partners transition to the advisor program. So you have a lot of experience on that. I know we worked together on some tools and some templates to help our partners to do that transfer, because there's quite some steps in there.
There's a lot of steps, and if you don't know what you're doing, it could seem like pretty confusing, and you don't know where to go, and a lot of people just give up and don't do anything. So we're here today to try to motivate people to get this done.
Yeah, and of course, by having done it with dozens of partners and hundreds of customers, that's definitely an experience that we want to share to help you do that for yourself. So my name is Simon Langlois. I'm the Office 365 marketing strategist here at SherWeb. So I'm going to walk you through this presentation today. So the agenda is pretty straightforward. We're going to have a little update on what's happening with the Microsoft Advisor Program. We're going to show you how you can make money through that process, because we know it can be a pain. It's something that's been enforced on you, and you might not want to do it, but there's some money to make, so why not take advantage of it while you're in that. And of course, we're going to take a look at how to transfer your clients, so a bit more technical details around that and some tips. And of course, a key point in that transfer is how you handle your customers' communications. So we have some tools, we have some experience to share with you, so that's going to be the last part before the Q&A. So hopefully we can do that pretty quickly and leave some space for the questions. And of course, please try to ask some questions throughout the presentation, so we can tackle them while we're on the topic. Before we start, I just wanted to set the table on for who that presentation is, because we got some feedback from our partners that are questioning if it's for them. So very clearly, it's for Office 365 resellers who have existing clients on Office 365 and that are directly invoiced by Microsoft. So that does not apply to SherWeb Advisor program and customers who are directly invoiced by SherWeb or by their resellers. So that's a clear distinctions that we wanted to make at the beginning. So the objective is, of course, to provide you details, information to help you make a seamless transition from the Microsoft Online Services Advisor Program, so the MOSA. So that's the official name that Microsoft used, but I haven't heard anyone.
Nope, I've never heard anyone say that.
No,
You're the first one.
Because we have some folks that are not new to SherWeb, just wanted to set the table on who we are. So very quickly, we are an indirect Microsoft CSP, so one of the few authorized cloud solution provider to resell to resellers who then sell directly to their customers. So that's an important point because that comes with competencies and some incentives from Microsoft Direct. So that's our core. And of course, we're a CSP accelerator. So what really stands us apart is that we help partners with added services throughout their partner journey to onboard on CSP and sell some services, provision the services with some migration tools. Like the one we're going to talk about today, but also teams behind that, and of course the support of that aspect. So we really add services and tools throughout the journey for our partners. So let's get on the topic of today's presentation. What's going on with the Microsoft Advisor Program? So here's a little timeline that we've made to show you how little interest and decrease in incentives Microsoft put to that program. So back in Microsoft fiscal year 2015, used to be a lot lucrative to sell through that program, and mainly one of the few only possible option to sell Office 365 for resellers. And throughout the years, they took out significant amount of commissions on that program. And now on June 30th, you're not going to see any revenue for new customers you onboard on that project program. And in fact, I think you're not going to be able to add any new customers. Is that right?
Well, you'll still be able to add licenses. It's just there's no incentive whatsoever.
Okay. And even for existing customers that you have for years, you're not going to get anything more in the coming years. So there's definitely something, you lose an opportunity there if you just stay there and you don't do anything by June 30th.
Yeah, it's like keeping your money under your mattress. It doesn't do anybody any good, and it's a fire hazard.
Yeah, totally agree. So why you should transfer and why now? That's two good questions that we get often. And the answer is pretty simple. It's so easy. There's no reason why you wouldn't do it. It's easy, it's fast, it takes a couple of minutes. Of course, if you have hundreds of customers, it might take longer. We're going to show you some tools in the later slides, and you'll have to manage customers' expectations and communications, but that's why SherWeb is there. We can do all of this work in the background for you, and Alex is going to deep dive on that in a few minutes, but and it pays also, so you can get money throughout. And an important point that's sometimes maybe confusing for some partners, but it's really zero customer impact. There's no migration at all, and that's why we tried to draw that little graph on the right.
We pulled all the stops. We had a big budget for this graphic. I hope you can all appreciate it.
So it's really the tenant, the data, the users, the license, everything stays there. There's no moves. It's really just that line that says Office 365 subscription. It's just a contract that you have, that your clients have directly with Microsoft, that we say, you know what, no more. We don't want to get billed by Microsoft no more. We want to get billed by our trusted advisor, you, the partner, the reseller, and that's the shift basically. And there's some very little easy three-step to do that.
Yeah, I like to use the analogy of changing internet service provider. You don't have to move from your house. You're really just changing which company is giving you internet. It's the same internet. So it's the same thing with this. You're just switching from Microsoft billing you to the partner billing you or SherWeb billing you. You're not changing your licenses. You don't have any data at risk or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. So that's for the update. And now, why not? But why with SherWeb? So how we can help you through that process. So I think you have a lot more experience on that than me, Alex. Why won't you?
Well, the first thing is that we'll actually give you some money. So right there, we just beat Microsoft on all the angles for that, because they're no longer giving you any money. And with what we've done, we make it so simple, easy, and fast to do, because we understand that partners have other things to do. They're always running from one fire to another with clients and this and that. They don't want to spend weeks or months or even hours, on the computer trying to get this done. So with that in mind, we've done our homework. We've created the tools, and we've trained the people to help you do this. So you have some extra money as well that you can get. The first year, you'll get 15% commission, and then lifetime, it's 5%. So this is by matching the Microsoft price for your clients. Again, no impact to them at all. They're not going to see any price increase or anything like that. The only difference is that you are going to start making money on this. And again, we have all the people for there. We do have your account manager. We also have a sales operation coordinator who spends all day. I don't know how she's not crazy yet, but she spends all day on the phone with Microsoft to get those transfers done whenever there's anything that comes up that's not part of our streamlined process. So anything that happens, we're prepared for. We do have all the technical gurus, at our disposal. If something, seems to go wrong, we can get it done as well. Yesterday, just myself personally, I spent a few hours doing transfers for a colleague of mine. By the way, hi Maria, you owe me. And I was able to, go through the portal and using our tools make this a lot faster than it would be. And the partner was super happy with the result because he didn't have to do anything. So that's something else that we can provide. We also have how-to videos for the visual people out there. So we're able to, we're going to show you one of them today, but you can go on YouTube, you can see all the videos that we have. And we also have talking points for your clients, because sometimes talking to the end customer to tell him that, a change needs to happen, it has to be, somewhat delicate, or you have to have the appropriate tone for it. So we're there to help you. We've done it hundreds of times as well.
Yeah, and we're going to have more details on every one of these throughout the presentation. So, so now, Alex, how can partners make money with that transfer?
Well, the first thing is, if you don't make the transfer and you don't do anything right now, in 2 years you will have made $0. If you make the transfer right now, in 2 years you will have made almost $3,300. If you don't think $3,300 in 2 years is a good amount of money, or you don't care about that money, I will give you my banking information so you can send me money, daily if you want, just so that I can get $3,300 from you in 2 years. Because if you don't do anything, that's what you're doing to Microsoft. You're just giving them all that money that you could keep in your pocket. The nice little graph shows that, as of June of this year, your revenue stream for Microsoft just flatlines. Whereas with SherWeb, for the first year, you get 15%, and anytime after that, you get 5%. It's the best scenario out there, because you don't have to do anything other than just let us know, that you exist and that you want to transfer. We'll take care of the rest. We're highly motivated to help you do this. We have different different models that you can use. The first one, the more common, the first step in the door, if you will, is through this program, the advisor program, where all you're doing is switching your client from being billed by Microsoft to being billed by SherWeb. On top of this, we will provide 24/7 customer support. So before, your clients had to either wake you up at 3 in the morning or try to call Microsoft somewhere and hopefully get in touch with someone and hopefully have some sort of reply within a couple of weeks by email saying, we're looking into it. With this, you can give them the number to call SherWeb, and we're there 24/7 to help with their questions. We also do migrations, but that's for another topic. I don't know why that's there. Otherwise, you do have the 15% profit for the first year, 5% every year after that. And this is for a limited time, unfortunately. So you do have to sign up for it, because right now we're doing this to try to get the people away from Microsoft as the program is ending. But once it's ended, we don't have that much of an incentive to get you guys to move over. So we're not going to pay that much to do that. So act now, get this done, get your money. Another program that we have is co-branded. This means that you are willing to bill your customers directly. You want to take over that customer relationship. You want to add your services, whether it's managed services, whether it's IT monitoring or training or things like that. A lot of MSPs add a lot of services. We can even show you how to become an MSP, by taking over the pricing and the billing of your clients. But they can still call us for the support. Most of our partners that use this model, they'll be the front line, the first level of support during business hours, but they'll say, anytime after 5, call this number. So you'll have nice people from SherWeb, most of them with a French accent, but still in North America, will be able to answer you. And finally, we have the white label program. This is all you. Your customers, your pricing, your billing, you own the whole thing. We don't even exist. We'll talk to you, we'll support you, but your clients don't know we exist, so they have to call you for service. we've added what's called valet services, so you can have a white label support from us, where our support people will answer as your company, and you can get up to 15% discount off of Microsoft Year commitment prices by signing up as white label. Of course, you start, at a basic level, the same way the co-branded starts, but as your volume increases, you can get bigger discounts. And usually, for people that are motivated, getting to that 15% discount is not that difficult, because Microsoft Office 365 is all over the place. Everybody wants it.
So the whole idea basically is, if you're a Microsoft advisor, or you do, your partner of record of some tenants, and you do get some commissions that will hand on June 30th. Maybe you don't have the ability to bill your customers on a monthly basis. Maybe you don't have the ability to support them right away. But the ultimate goal should be to reach for being the one-stop shop for your customers, so that at the very end of the spectrum, the reseller program. But maybe you're not ready right now, but you can start CSP with SherWeb on your own terms, and then evolve on your own pace. So that's the whole idea that we're trying to offer you.
Yeah, we're very flexible. We'll work with you at your pace, and whenever you're ready to move to a different model, we make that very easy as well. Speaking of easy, how to transfer your clients easily. The first thing, it's you. You're there. You're all alone on the page. You're looking for help. You're looking for a way to get this done. But we have an entire team at your disposal. The first level will be with the dedicated account manager. We don't all dress like this, but some of us do. I even wore pants today because I thought this was going to be filmed, but apparently not. The dedicated account manager is responsible for onboarding you, which means to show you, how our Cumulus portal works. It's pretty much just a shopping cart. It's super easy to work with, but still to see it. Some training to show you, like all the different products that we have available, or how to distinguish from the many different Office 365 licenses out there. And some coaching on how to talk to your clients, how to win some deals, how to complete your sales cycle faster. If you have a client that's like, yeah, maybe, well, we'll show you how to get him to say yes now. After that, we also have the pre-sale solution experts. Now, these are our gurus, our all-stars, our people who know everything, see all. It's pretty much Gandalf and Obi-Wan put together. If we don't know the answer for the questions that you have, we have those people. I don't know how they know all this stuff. Sometimes it's way too much stuff in it, but they'll know, and they'll let us know, so you can sound super smart towards your clients. We have a migration team. This does not apply, obviously, to the CSP transfer, since it's not a migration. But if you have some clients that are on on-premise Exchange, or they're coming from a different solution, we do have a team there to help you get that transfer. And the reason he's wearing a hard hat is because they do all the heavy lifting for you. And of course, we can white label that as well, so we can have this service even if you don't want this to be, within SherWeb. We'll offer that to you as well. Our support team, as I said before, we're North American based. Most of the people are here in Quebec. So again, if you detect a French accent, it's because we are a French province. But they're all bilingual. They all speak English very well as well. Better than Simon, most of them.
That's right.
That's right. And they're there to answer your clients all the time. And of course, we do have level 2, level 3 sysadmins for you. And we have the Microsoft Premier support. So if for some odd reason we're not able to solve something, we have a direct line to call Microsoft, and they have to answer as part of the contract. They can't make us wait. So we'll get things resolved for you.
And that service is brandable as well.
And then the sales operations coordinator. That's our lovely friend Marie, and even though she is beautiful and an amazing singer, she is an expert in doing the CSP transfers. She has done things. She has spent countless hours on the phone with the maze that is the Microsoft customer service to get those transfers done seamlessly for our partners. So pretty much what we're saying is that all that hard, long waiting time on the phone, or trying to figure out even where to call from Microsoft, we'll take care of all of that for you. You know, so I think it's an offer that can't be beat.
So we do have a good question from Michael, who said, do you deal at all with Office 365 customer subscriptions or only with the business?
It's really only the business. Like Office 365 Home Edition is not something that we cover. You know, it has its purposes, you know, but even for personal customers, I would recommend buy the business edition. You do have a lot more features and a lot more flexibility to use.
Okay. A question regarding the Microsoft Premier support came in from Rick. And he's asking, what if I have a large customer who deals with Microsoft Premier already? What would be the advantage of going to SherWeb and retain all the benefits of their Premier membership?
Well, that's the thing. Once the licenses are transferred under the big SherWeb umbrella, those clients still have, you know, indirect access to the Microsoft Premier support. So all those privileges that they get, you know, they'll still get, except that they no longer have to pay thousands of dollars a month to get it. You know, so that's huge savings on their end.
Okay, well, let's continue and I'll monitor the questions.
You'll monitor the questions? Okay, keep them coming. Upcoming, you know, we always want to put a little teaser somewhere. So our hipster friends at the marketing department are coming up, and they all have the beards and the bow tie. They're coming up with marketing campaigns for our partners. This is something that's going to be exclusively done for our partners, where they're going to be able to have a whole marketing branch of their company without having to hire anyone or deal with any of their, you know, millennial needs.
We do have a question before we move forward, which is, can you establish a new cloud services provider program for channel partners like Master Telecoms that have agents and have not been Microsoft advisors? So if I understand correctly, we're talking about channel partners that are in telco industry that have not been Microsoft advisors, which we're talking about today. Can we do CSP for them?
In the end, yes. The only hesitation I have, because of the fact that, you know, I've been, you know, swimming in this for months, is that depending on the, you know, telecom and how their initial Office 365 was set up, we may need to do a migration, you know, for them. You know, we'll have to move them off Office 365 and then back on. Again, of course, no downtime, no data loss. Your end users will not notice anything. So the short answer is yes. The long answer is, you know, we'll deal through a lot of painful stuff. You won't. We will, but we'll get it done.
So yeah. So if I understand correctly, if you're a telco and you do, so that's the assumption that you do have Office 365 customers, but that are not under Microsoft advisors. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. They're through the syndicated program.
Okay, usually. Syndicated. Okay. Or if they don't have Office 365 customers, what I know too is that telcos are usually good clients of us from branded support. That support team right there can put your brand on. Basically, if you're a telco, you have a sales agent or even support agents, but they don't know Office 365. That's not what they're used to. You don't want to waste time. You don't want. Well, when they call you telco and they want Office 365 support in their phone options, you can just hit the 2 button, and then you're redirected, white label, not even white label, branded, your company support, hello, and it's SherWeb in the back end that's doing the work for you. No investment, no training, nothing. So that's good for telcos. So let's move forward with the tools. Alex, I'm gonna leave you talk about that.
So of course, the most important tool, and it's not, you know, hopefully there's no negative, you know, connotation with this, is actually your account managers. Not that we're tools personally, but we are your best tool. Reach out to us. We'll run the import tool for you if you're uncomfortable with it. We'll guide you on the phone. You know, we'll look at your screen while you're doing it to say, you know, click here, click there, don't do this, don't do that. But we did come out with a little video that shows how quickly you can actually get this done, and how nice our Cumulus platform is. You'll be adding stuff on there, and you'll be smiling. You won't even know it. So I think we can press play.
Yep.
Okay, so apparently there's no sound video, so I have to talk the whole time. So this is the Cumulus portal when you log in. So yeah, you have your information. The first thing you'll want to see is import Office 365 clients. You'll see right before it says import from Excel file, it says go to your Microsoft Partner Dashboard. This is where you get the Excel file, and it'll say non-Azure reseller report. You import it there, and click OK, and then you'll see that all your organizations will show up, everything that you have on there. Now don't worry, it hasn't been transferred yet, so if there's some of them that you're not ready to do, they won't be done without your consent. It's just that this is the first part to populate, everything that you need to do eventually, hopefully. So then you check or uncheck the ones that you want to transfer, and you see they've selected as well the amount of Business Premium, Business Essentials. So you don't even have to know how many licenses of each you need to transfer. And then the first thing you'll be able to do is to just send an invitation to your client to say, hey, click on this link to authorize SherWeb, and the transfer will be done, because obviously we're not going to be able to go in there without their permission. So once you've sent that, they get it, they accept it, and then you'll be able to see on the screen, when they've accepted it. So they'll be able to, you'll be able to move forward after that. So again, it's going to show you a shopping cart with all the things that have been automatically selected for you. You'll just have to enter your information, on the bottom, or the client's information, as appropriate, just to make sure that you have your advisor ID, which is going to be what's going to get that money coming your way. And then it's going to be, and then that's it. It's that simple. Of course, Microsoft updates things all the time, and we update things all the time. Sometimes it doesn't work on the first try. Sometimes it gives you an error. And again, it's because this is why we are the best tool at your disposal. Contact us. We'll find out what's changed. We'll find out, if there's anything in your Excel file that's not working. We've seen them all the time. We've done them all the time. So, excuse me. If you're not familiar with this, the first time especially, please contact us. We'll be very happy to do those for you. For the sales team, whenever we get a CSP transfer to do, that person is smiling, because that's the easiest thing. That's easy. That's an easy sale for us. We're very happy about that. So don't hesitate to contact us. You'll make our day.
It's like if you're selling car and the buyer just come in and say, hey, can you just drive my car out the driveway, please?
No, it's just it's great like that. And again, it'll show you on the portal very easily, what you have, what your clients are being charged for, and you'll see it matches the Microsoft pricing. And now you'll start getting a commission, which is something that you're no longer going to get.
So the chat box is going crazy. So I might have a couple questions for you before we move forward. The first one is it's crazy. Sorry about that. So basically, David is asking, he has a customer right now with renewal expiring on July that's built directly through Microsoft. They bought it through volume licensing, and he's asking, pretty simple questions. We're gonna ask. We're gonna answer it mostly at the end. But he's asking, is it easy to transfer to SherWeb, and will I get incentives for doing it?
Well, yes, it's very easy to transfer to SherWeb. As you may have seen, the video just ran like that was a CSP transfer, and I didn't even run out of breath. The other thing that I want to mention about that, because you're saying, oh, it's expiring in July. Doing a CSP transfer is part of the terms and conditions from Microsoft, where it says that you are not liable for any penalties or anything like that if you change licensing program. We have a slide at the end for it, but since it was kind of on topic, I thought I should mention it. you don't have to wait until the end of your prepaid contract with Microsoft to transfer the licenses over. You can do it today, and then we will either, give you the phone number so that you can call the partner resources from Microsoft to ask for a refund, because you are entitled to a refund for that, or we can do it for you. Again, our sales coordinator, talks to Microsoft all the time. She's on first name basis with all the reps there. So you don't have to wait until a specific date, even if, a month ago you renewed for a year and you've paid ahead of time, we'll get you a refund and we'll get you the transfer done very easily.
Eddie's asking, are the rates billed by the clients the same that they're paying from Microsoft? So if I understand the question correctly, is the client paying the same thing through SherWeb than through SherWeb or their partners, or through they used to do with Microsoft Direct?
The initial advisor transfer from being billed from Microsoft directly to SherWeb is the same price as the Microsoft annual price. So the best price from Microsoft is being matched by SherWeb. If they are on a monthly contract with Microsoft and they switch to SherWeb, it'll actually be a lot cheaper through SherWeb than what they were paying with Microsoft. So they never have to worry about any type of price increase by moving to SherWeb from Microsoft. For the white label partners and the co-branded partners, well, what you charge your end clients for the licenses is up to you. We'll give you a price that's less than what Microsoft is charging your clients, that's for sure. But we always recommend that you don't want to just charge whenever it's a white label type relationship with the client. You want to add your services on top of this. You want your licenses to be one of the line items of the whole monthly bill that you give to your clients, because otherwise, you're not going to stay in business for very long. Microsoft itself says, don't think you're going to make money just selling Office 365. It's all the other services that you have that are going to make it a profitable business.
Okay, so I know there's a lot more questions in the chat. Don't worry, I took note of them, but we're going to run through content because I think we're going to answer some of them through content, and then we'll leave a bunch of minutes at the end to make sure we go through them. So here we just wanted to show you that we have for partners of you can go in the partner toolbox. We've built some guides through that experience of ours that doing it with partners. Every time we hit a wall and see that there's a gap, we try to build that document and we make it available for other partners so they can benefit from it. If you're not a partner yet, you can sign up. It's totally free. It takes a minute, and then you're in, and you can go to Partner Toolbox and get that white label free content you can use.
One other question that comes up often, which may be on there, some of the partners or potential partners were reluctant to change their licenses over because they thought that, hey, I'm going to lose my action packs, my recognition, all the incentives that I get from Microsoft for having a certain volume. Well, the good news is, I don't want to sound like an infomercial, but the good news is that you do not lose anything by switching over to SherWeb. You have a spot in Cumulus, and we have a nice little picture on there where you can enter your Microsoft Partner Network ID, and by having your NPM ID on there, you are recognized for everything that you do. And anything that you would add through SherWeb, like say your client had like 50 licenses that he transferred over, and now he's at SherWeb, he adds 25 more, you will get recognition for those 25 extra licenses as well. So it really is just a direct upgrade by switching to SherWeb.
Yeah, and that's actually a very important difference from a lot of these wannabes, indirect CSP or distributor. A lot of partners that are a direct CSP that are authorized to sell to customers directly pretend to have partner programs and onboard partners and sell, but that's the difference. The difference is that with us, Microsoft knows who's the end partner, and you can have your competencies, some incentives too on there, and a lot of advantages that you can't have with wannabe distributors.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course tips and then pitfalls to avoid. One thing that, through a lot of trial and error, we found out is that to be able to do a successful CSP transfer, the licenses have to have been added in the Microsoft portal for at least 3 months. So you can't just add a new license today in the Microsoft portal and then say, hey, I'll switch it to SherWeb. The best way is actually to go to SherWeb first and add the license. But if you've added a license, today already, you'll have to wait 3 months before we're able to make the switch. This is obviously a requirement done by Microsoft. It's not something that we're able to change. But as soon as they do any type of change, we'll be able to follow suit with it as well. The export list, whenever you want to use our advisor import tool, the export list, whenever you are in there, there is a window that says, oh, just the last 6 months. You want to change that to lifetime, because if you just do the most recent 6 months, anything that you've added before that will not show up. So these are, all our agents, know this, all account managers know this. So again, for the first one, call us. We'll guide you through it. We'll show you those little things that we have to do. As I explained earlier, no penalties for a license program switch. So again, it is within the terms and conditions from Microsoft. This is a program that was started by Microsoft. They do not want to have direct clients that have less than 500 users. They want those to be moved to the CSP program. They've authorized just a very few. As Simon said, it's so popular now that a lot of wannabe providers are advertising themselves as indirect CSP, but they're not, and you quickly find out that they're not because you're not able to keep all of your partner records. The one thing that we need that sometimes takes a little bit of time to get is the tenant credentials with global admin rights. It needs to be a global admin, not just a regular admin. If you don't know where to look, we'll show you. It's very simple. We do it all the time. But the credentials that we need to have to be able to make the CSP transfer must have those rights. Otherwise, we can't make the switch, and it makes sense for once. And lastly, don't forget to cancel the subscription. Once you've done the transfer, you'll see that you've added the new licenses from SherWeb. They've taken over for your clients, but you have to cancel the ones that are in the Microsoft portal. If you again don't know how to do it, contact us. We'll show you how to do it. Whenever it's over a certain amount of licenses, we do need to contact Microsoft to do it. Again, we encourage you to do it, so just that you can see, how it's done and how Microsoft will confirm that they'll refund anything that you've paid ahead of time. But if you don't want to do it, we can do it for you as well. If you have just a few clients, because you see, oh, the export sheets and this and that, I only have 2 organizations. You don't need to use those tools. You can do a manual CSP transfer. It's very fast as well. It's just that when you have a lot of clients, it's much easier to use the tool instead. It saves a lot of time. But if you have just a couple organizations, or you've switched a lot of organizations and now you just want to switch another one, we can show you how to do it manually. It's also very simple. And again, we do it all the time. And then the final hardest part, which is talking to your customers, talking to your clients. What we recommend is that you don't ask them, hi, can I switch you over to SherWeb? Because you'll get no. I'm happy where I am. I don't want to move. I don't want to do it. No. You have to do what is done today in almost all industries. You've probably received it as a customer of some other company, a letter saying, in order to strive to continuously improve our service, we have change the service. We have a lot of email templates that you can send to your clients, and we have even some talking points if you want to have the conversation with your client over the phone. But the main success has been you're just letting them know. It's a courtesy. You're letting them know that from now on they are going to be billed by SherWeb, or from now on they are going to be billed by you, and that there's no impact at all. They don't have to download anything. They don't have to update anything or back up anything, because nothing's changing for the licensing program. It really is because of the success that Office 365 had, that Microsoft had to come up with a new approach for the clients that, for the companies that are less than 500 users. For the companies with more than 500 users, there's enterprise agreements out there for them. For the ones that are less, Microsoft wants them to be moved to CSPs, and SherWeb is, in all non-objectivity, the best one. So yeah, I just covered that. One thing also, just a little thing, it's always better to set expectations and to let clients know ahead of time that they may receive. Microsoft has been getting better about suppressing that automated message, but it's always good to just let them know that they may receive a message from Microsoft saying that your license is expired. This is whenever you do any type of change in the admin center, those messages can be generated. Again, they're getting better at not receiving them anymore, but it's really a good practice to just let them know that they may receive this message and to simply disregard it. One last thing for talking to your clients that does seem to help out a lot is that if they're being billed by Microsoft directly, it's probably a nightmare right now. If they have 10 different licenses, they may get 10 different bills from Microsoft each month, or they may have to renew the yearly for this one and the yearly for that one at this time of the month, that time of the month. It's an accounting nightmare for those companies to see what's going on. With switching them over to SherWeb, they just get a simple monthly bill with all the changes that they've done throughout the month prorated on there. So again, there's no commitments with SherWeb. It's a month to month. So if they have any seasonal changes, if they have to hire some people, lay off some people, if they're want to work on a big project or they're done with a project, they can always scale up and down those licenses. So telling your clients about this is going to talk to their reality of how their day-to-day business is done, and they're going to see the advantage in making that switch. You're still there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I've been busy on the chat. There's some questions popping up, which I think it's important to clarify. Jamie's asking if
Hi, Jamie.
It's if this method can be used to transfer clients from AppRiver, to not name it, but basically AppRiver is a syndicated partner, yes, which Alex talked about a few minutes ago. But basically, unfortunately, that's about the only subscription type, I think, that cannot use that method.
But again, we can get them transferred over. It's just it's not going to be through the very easy 5-minute CSP transfer. It's still going to be the same thing for your end clients. There's not going to be any downtime. They're not going to have to feel any impact or anything like that. It's really just on our end that it's a lot more work, but we do that all in the background, and we do that for people. I have a colleague of mine, I respect him, but I make fun of him all the time, Mr. Morosi, who did that with from AppRiver recently, a huge migration, for a client, and it was just a resounding success. So there's nothing out there that we can't do. It's just the method that we'll use that may vary from time to time, because we know that things are changing all the time, and our partners, have different cases all the time. Every partner is, unique with his clients, their situation. So we have real humans talking to you, understanding what's going on, and which is the best plan of attack to make sure that your customers are satisfied and that you get some money in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one of the we'll give you a sneak peek. You can probably pause this on YouTube if you want to shamelessly steal our very hard work. This is an email example.
We're going to send the presentation slide after the webinar just to make it clear.
Again, this is something that we've used for some of our partners, that they've sent to their clients. And again, it is just to say, hey, Microsoft is charging you for this. Now you will have the invoice from either, us or from SherWeb. This is normal. Don't worry. You'll get a refund if you've, paid ahead of time. We're improving your service. It's really to show it that way. And the reason it'll work is because it is true. You are actually making an improvement to their service by switching to SherWeb. There is nothing that they lose at all. They only are gaining you know, either features or advantages or possibilities. So there's no reason not to do it. Another example on that. Man, we're giving all this stuff away for free.
Yeah, of course we're giving it for free. And these are examples that we've used and that are working. They're in the toolbox for existing partners, so go ahead. There's some templates. And this one is maybe a bit more informative, as you suggested a few slides ago, to just tell your customers, hey, FYI, this change is happening. It's not affecting you. Don't be afraid. Here's why, and that's it. There's no, hey, would you want to? It's really, here it is. Here are the facts.
And people are used to receiving messages from Microsoft telling them things are about to change. Just look at Windows 10. I mean,
yeah,
that's what happened.
So again, go in the toolbox. There's some templates there to help you, and we have on the right the customer talking points. So a lot of partners have been asking, do you have like a one-pager that I can give my sales agent to talk to my customers to say, here are the talking points to convince them and make sure that everything is fine? That's what we've been using.
Yeah, exactly. And we call them, you know, talking points because we don't want to give a script to your sales agents or to you, because those things just do not work. We just want to give you conversational topics so that it flows a lot better when you're talking to your client, because you know your client, so you know the best approach for them.
So we're almost at the end. Just to give you some information about the incentives and enablement program. So basically, we talked about the 15.5%. Good clarification that I have a lot of questions on the chat is with that program, if you move from Microsoft Advisor Program to SherWeb Advisor Program, so that means SherWeb bills and SherWeb support your customers directly. We do match the end customer price to the yearly commitment prices of Microsoft.
Which is their best price.
Which is the best price. So we've had a couple of questions about that. We do match Microsoft yearly commitment price. So it's the best price. It's the price that most customers, I think, choose in the past and are on right now, so that's why we decided to match that. And plus that, you get 15% for the first year as an advisor, and you're not doing the transfer, you're not doing the support, you're not doing the invoicing, so that's pretty much a no-brainer.
It's the easiest money you'll ever make.
Easiest. And if you're interested more into the reseller program and co-branded program, we do have a great incentive for cashback. So you'll get some refunds for your work up front on that. But we'll still do all the back ends, but still we want to recognize and incentivize you before end of June. So make sure to get in contact with your sales.
And our promos are compatible with the already existing Microsoft promos. You don't have to choose one or the other. So as some of you may be familiar, Microsoft is having their Cloud Power Up cashback promo right now. We'll give you those credits on top of whatever you get from Microsoft.
And of course, we're not afraid. We can match all of our competitors' promotion. And keep it super simple. So let's say you have a competitor and you're interested to go there, you just hit the landing page and tell us about that promo of the competitors, and we'll match it. No problem.
We have an endless supply of Tylenol to understand all the fine print of their promos, and we'll match it, no problem.
So thank you everyone for being there. We're going to answer the questions in a minute, but just to wrap up a little bit, this program is ending on June 30th. We have some great incentive to help you move and to help you make money throughout that process, and some great tools like the import tools, automated import tools. I think we're the only one on the market who's built that. And if you have just few clients, it's super simple to just do it through the portal, one client at a time. And we have some good people also.
We're the best people.
Experienced people who's done hundreds of customers and dozens of partners, if not hundreds of partners. Honestly, I think I'm a bit shy on that, but so there's no reason not to switch right now and with SherWeb. So become a partner, it's totally free, and use our promotions. So now, I have one question that confuses me a little bit. I hope I won't put you on the spot, but Chris,
I'll use the lifeline.
Yeah, Chris wants some clarification. So he says, so just to be clear, I'll still have the partner button, and that I'm pretty sure yes, in the tenant, Office 365 tenant, you know, in the admin, there's like that partner button. When I log in to the Office 365 to access my client's admin panel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, what happens with the internet service provider analogy? You know, you're not moving your house. Like, you're keeping everything. It's just that instead of being built by Microsoft, you're now being built by SherWeb. You will still log into the Microsoft portal to manage the users just as you've been doing all this time. There's nothing to learn. The only thing that will change is that from now on, the bill will be coming from SherWeb. So whenever you want to add new products that you'll be billed for, you want to go through SherWeb to do that. And it's, you know, a super nice, easy shopping cart that we have for the Cumulus portal. People use it all the time, you know, to make changes, even at 3 in the morning. I see some partners, I don't know why they're awake, but they're doing those changes. But again, you lose nothing. You lose no control at all. You don't lose any type of admin privileges. You see from your partner dashboard all your clients that you have. Nothing changes at all. I can't stress this enough.
Thank you, Alex. So David is asking, so we've looked at the automated import tool,
yes.
The video, so we see how to do that, export the Excel, import it, and then manage your customers. But how do I transfer customers manually?
Well, it's part of the process in Cumulus. Whenever you have a partner, you would just create the organization, and then it would ask you what's their address, what's their Microsoft, like their on Microsoft.com domain prefix. So you put that in, and they'll say, "Oh, okay, we know that this exists, but we don't have the authority to do anything with that. Click here to send a request." So then you'll log in to the Microsoft Partner Portal. You'll see a pop-up window saying, "Hey, SherWeb wants to have delegated admin." So you'll click yes. You know, I accept, and you know, I'll save this, and then you go back to Cumulus, you validate it, a green light will come on saying, okay, you're good. So at that point, you just add the licenses from the shopping cart in the Cumulus portal, and they'll appear in your Microsoft portal, just like with the tool. So the manual part is not, you know, it's not a lot more complicated. It's faster when you have less clients.
Without the image, might sounds a bit complex, but I can tell you it's really a 4-step process. And again, there's a tool in the toolbox. There's a guide that says how to transfer advisor to CSP in 4 easy steps. There's 4 screenshots, and that's basically exactly what Alex just explained. And it's super simple.
And again, you know, we're weird that way. We'll answer the phone when you call us. That's one of the things that sets us apart. So your dedicated account manager will just be very happy to answer any questions you have about CSP transfers. That's the most wonderful thing that we love to do, you know, when we're at work, of course, because we do have some hobbies.
So Peter is asking if a client is self-provisioned through Microsoft Portal, it will be different. I guess he wanted to say, will it be different backend from them? For them, or the same? So if they're self-provisioned, is it the same backend for them or different?
It's the same thing for them. For the end clients, nothing's going to change. The one thing that, you know, maybe an advantage to do the CSP transfer is that once, you know, he's under your portal, you may now enter your admin credentials and your MPN ID to get some sort of recognition for those clients. Okay.
So the partner will will use Cumulus now to create new customers and
to create new licenses. Again, he'll still want to go after, you know, back to the Microsoft portal to add users, remove users, assign licenses, just as they've been doing before.
Maybe just a clarification, because if you're moving your customer to SherWeb Advisor Program, and I make a pause here for a purpose, because the Microsoft Advisor Program and SherWeb Advisor Program can be confusing. But if you're moving from Microsoft to SherWeb Advisor, the customer will have, if you give them access, if you want them to go to Cumulus, they can access to Cumulus to put in their credit card information, maybe buy licenses from their own. But you can be the master of that too, right?
Exactly. Again, the one thing that we'll do is that we'll work with you however you want us to work. We'll adapt to what your reality is. So if you have clients that are directly with Microsoft and that you know just go once a month to their office building to make sure that they're not being hit by major ransomware, and you don't want to have to deal with billing or support or anything like that, or even adding or removing licenses, we'll be able to take care of that for them. If you want to have full control because you have it right now, we'll be able to take care of that for you as well.
So that's it. That answers a little bit Larry's question, who's asking after the crossover, will the client make their own change on a monthly basis to add licenses or remove them, or will I have to do it for them? It's
up to you.
It's up to you. You give them access or not. Who adds licenses, clients or partner?
Up to you.
Again, that's pretty much the same. It depends on the program, but even if it's the advisor program, which is the only one that you can give access to Cumulus to your customers.
No, but I mean, some partners, they'll say, well, I've created this one organization, and there's the one IT guy from this client. I want him to have access. Well, you can create a user in Cumulus and give him access so he can add licenses himself. And then, of course, he'll still have access to the Microsoft portal to, make the admin changes that way as well. Again, I'm repeating myself, but it's
but it seems confusing because there's a lot of questions about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we will work with you. We will do things the way you want them to be done. Put us to the test. Call us. Talk to us. We'll show you, how we've done it. There's a reason we're having so much success. There's a reason we've grown so much in the past couple of years. It's because this formula of being a partner first company to make sure that we are like water, we adapt to what the partner wants, is bringing us all this success.
I'm gonna make you repeat again. I'm sorry, but we need to, if it's not clear, we want to make sure it is. Larry's asking, under the advisor plan, which is very clear, thank you.
Yes.
What is the pricing like for new clients compared to Microsoft list price?
Under the advisor plan for new clients, and this would be there's still a distinction to be made for new clients under a same organization. So say a company that's already there that has 100 seats or something, and they want to add 5 new seats for their new clients, it's still going to be the same price. But for clients that don't have Office 365 at all, and there are brand new, clients coming to SherWeb under the advisor program, the prices will match the Microsoft monthly pricing.
Okay.
And not the annual pricing.
Okay.
And that's the price that you'll see if you go directly to the SherWeb.com website and you say, I want to buy Office 365, you'll see that it matches the Microsoft monthly pricing. This is because obviously we're providing the support, and we again we want to use this a little bit as a deterrent, because some clients are very clever and they'll do a lot of research, and if they figure out that you're dealing with SherWeb somehow, and that they're saying, well, maybe I can go directly with SherWeb and get a better price, they'll hit a brick wall. They'll see that the prices that we're advertising are much more expensive than the prices that you are charging them through us.
Okay, so if I recap correctly, for existing Microsoft Direct invoiced clients,
yes,
for 3 months plus,
right,
they move to SherWeb Advisor Program. They get Microsoft yearly commitment pricing.
Yes.
If an advisor to a SherWeb advisor adds a new customer, which is new to Office 365, never had a tenant before, he's going to pay SherWeb, his customer is going to pay SherWeb retail price.
Yes, which is matching the Microsoft monthly retail price as well.
Okay, cool. That's perfect.
And there's no commitment or anything like that.
So I think we're a minute past the hour. Thank you, everyone, for your engagement. That was a very good session. Thank you for your questions. I always appreciate all that engagement.
That was fun. That made us feel less alone.
Don't hesitate to reach out to your partner team. They know about that program. They know all the ins and outs. It's sure we have about 30 people downstairs, and if you call any one of them, they'll all have experience with that. That's for sure. So they'll be able to answer your question about that. So have a great afternoon, and make sure to move before June 30th.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.